Meghan Markle, on her royal tour of Australia, we've all been watching. The late Queen would be as close to pissed off as the late Queen could get, and she's just a little Teddy Graham, so she doesn't get mad. But she always decreed, there's no half in and there's no half out. You're all the way in the firm or you're all the way out. And we are a long way from these guardrails now as the Sussexes carry out public engagements freely on their own terms, right? Their own choosing and attached to earnings. It's not unlike Jared Kushner, who's brokering peace for America in the Middle East while he raises billions of dollars for his investment fund from those same countries that are affected. So this all must be like infuriating King Charles and the future King William, Harry's brothers. Some police and security costs are being paid by taxpayers, or were paid by taxpayers in Australia. So are they not having their cake and eating it too? If Charles doesn't shut this down, it becomes a precedent for the future, right? What stops little Louis, who's the next spare? George will be the future king, but his little brother Louis, who's got a great personality, kind of like Harry. It's almost like, oh, it's coming. It's the next generation. It's the same story. What stops little Louis from rolling fat in Montecito, going on private royal tours, right, for money? I don't want to be in the royal family. George is going to do all the work, but I do want I want to make some jack. I want to go visit Australia and some of the territories. Meghan, before this tour, trademarked her As Ever brand for future commerce. So she registered in Australia. She's ready to expand there. Yet their team insists this trip was not self-promotional at all because there were charitable events and mental health talks, which is, of course, wheelhouse royal activity. However, the back half of the trip says otherwise. Meghan, was appearing as a guest of honor at a luxury wellness retreat. People pay $2,700 to $3,200 for a VIP ticket. A great room with a beautiful view, and of course a photo op with Meghan. Their flights, their hotels, all paid for by the wellness retreat. And before, in the days prior, she's touring hospitals, and security is being picked up by the taxpayers of Australia. It is a murky combination, and I know it's pissing off King Charles. Some have beef also with Meghan, the optics of Meghan earning money from a shopping platform that's built around, her outfit. So whatever she wears, including, the beautiful LBD, the little black number that she wore to visit kids in the hospital, people can click on that and Meghan gets a kickback. I love the concept. It's an amazing platform. But, Princess Kate cannot do that. On her visits to hospitals, you don't click her outfit and she makes a little side jack. You're all the way in or you're all the way out. I'm with the Queen. But most glaringly, they have pleaded for privacy while smiling away in the center of a media scrum. That rubs people the wrong way. Now, Meghan's message to the kids while at a forum on mental health: be strong, like me. She proffered, over the last 10 years, nobody has been more bullied and attacked, man or woman, on the planet than her. She said this to these kids, and she said this is her message, and she told the kids to be strong. That's the answer. Do we have a little clip of that? Let's take a look.
Every day for 10 years, I've been bullied and attacked. And I was the most trolled person in the entire world. I'm still here. And so when I think of all of you and what you're experiencing, I think so much of that is having to realize that, that industry, that billion-dollar industry that is completely anchored and predicated on cruelty to get clicks, that's not going to change.
So if her statistic is correct, did she mostly, somewhat, or not at all bring it on herself? And what is her sin, right? I mean, she called a senior family member of the royal family racist for openly wondering what the hue, the tint of the baby's skin might take on when she was pregnant. Now, let me tell you something. Anyone's aunt would do that, right? Meghan is very light-skinned African-American, partially. So they're wondering, she's so light-skinned, I mean, and Harry is as white as a ghost. That dude needs sunscreen, at night. So would there be any tint? That's a conversation that happens over tea, not just cocktails. What's wrong with it? It's not racist to have that conversation. There's the idea that Meghan and Harry, want their cake and to eat it too. Almost like they want a free franchise of the royal family in America. All the benefits, none of the laborious and boring, rubber ducky races in, Wales and protocol and this rear kissing, chain of command stuff. They just want the free security, the fun events, and the accoutrements. They want to be able to have companies, giant companies, assist the grift. Even on this trip to Australia, the taxpayers were pissed. They were asked to cover the security tab. People get the sense with these, too, that they're trying to basically just create a dream role for themselves. And they expect all of us to just sort of play along and be a part of it, right? Here's reprimanda in the comments section. Meghan creating competition with Kate is very demeaning. That's probably where we first caught a glimpse of who Meghan really is when they were still in England. Joy, Shmeha, we love Joy. Why is she African-American when it matters? Compton when it matters. And white when it matters? Who cares? Always Thinking says she wasn't trolled. She unleashed trolls and bots to literally destroy creators who were stating facts. Okay. Ozzy says, Meghan, you brought it on yourself. Oprah to complain about money and titles during COVID is unforgivable. Oh, here's Lawson. Chris Rock joked that all. Chris Rock joked that all black women ask, "How dark is the baby?" He went off on Meghan in a comedy special. Yeah.
Billy, I like Little Miss Red Velvet said earlier that no one cares in the UK about this. I just think that's an interesting point, how deep we are in it here in the States, and back there, maybe they don't care as much. I don't know.
Oh, I think she's viciously unpopular in the UK. I mean, maybe if they don't care, it's because it's no longer debated. That issue is put away and it's unanimous. So no one covers it anymore because it's dead.
Yeah, they just moved on.
I think so. The biggest hurdle for the non-royal couple, obviously, is authenticity. The whole thing just doesn't seem organic, and that's mostly on her. To be requesting our support in this kind of a charmed life that she's laid out, we're going to need Diana level of relatability and authenticity, right? Maybe it's just obviously it's too tough an act to follow. I mean, Diana, girl, is a real victim, actual victim, and you can feel it all over. We ache for Diana. Meghan should be striking one note, not victim, gratitude. Gratitude only. No victim speeches to kids. Diana desperately tried to claim her privacy. She wanted to be left alone, and she was relentlessly pursued. Meghan is thrusting herself upon us. That's the problem.